Hello everyone. We the students of AC&RI curriculum, AUVAI, Nivedita, MANICKARAJ and SINTHANA are assigned with the topic called Inefficiency and Welfare Laws, Solutions, Important Issues in Economics and Management of Common Property Resources of Land, Water, Pasture and Forest Resources. First, let me see about the welfare loss. The lost welfare as a result of too much or too little production and consumption of a good or resource. அதாவது ஒரு good or particular resource வந்துட்டு தேவைக்கு அதிகமாக இல்லை தேவைக்கு கம்மியாக ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணி கன்சியூம் பண்ணுறது தான் வெல்ஃபேர் லாஸ்ன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. Inefficiency and welfare loss. It does not matter whether a tax on a good is levied on buyers or sellers of the good, the price paid by the buyer rises and the price received by the seller falls. The fall in total surplus, that is, the sum of the consumer surplus, producer surplus and tax revenue is called as the welfare loss. All the environmental and natural resource problems are associated with overexploitation or under-provision of the public goods and enforced property rights, whether they be formal or informal, group or individual. அதாவது எல்லா என்விரான்மெண்டல் அண்ட் நேச்சுரல் ரிசோர்ஸ் ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் வந்துட்டு எதோட அசோசியேட் ஆகிருக்குன்னா ஓவர் எக்ஸ்ப்ளாய்டேஷன், அதாவது அதிகமாக யூஸ் பண்ணுறது, ஆர் அண்டர் ப்ரொவிஷன், அதாவது லிட்டில் யூட்டிலைசேஷன் ஆஃப் தி பப்ளிக் ரிசோர்ஸ் அண்ட் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி ரைட்ஸ். அந்த ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி ரைட்ஸ் வந்துட்டு ஒன்று ஃபார்மல் ஆர் இன்ஃபார்மலாக இருக்கலாம், குரூப் ஆர் இண்டிவிஜுவலாக இருக்கலாம். Now we'll see about the common property resource management. Now we'll see what is resource. A kind of supply that can be drawn by a person or organization in order to function and execute plans and properties. அதாவது ஒரு பர்சன் இல்லை ஒரு ஆர்கனைசேஷன் வந்துட்டு ஒரு சப்ளை வந்துட்டு எடுத்து அதை வந்துட்டு ஃபங்க்ஷன் இல்லை பிளான் ஆர் ப்ராஜெக்டாக எக்ஸிக்யூட் பண்ணுறது தான் ஒரு ரிசோர்ஸ். Now we'll see what is common resources. அதாவது ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் குரூப் ஆர் இண்டிவிஜுவலுக்கு மட்டும் இல்லாமல் எல்லா பப்ளிக்கும் யூஸ் பண்ணுறது தான் காமன் ரிசோர்ஸஸ். And this common resource will depend on the cost and benefits. The cost benefits affect the resource management and the property used is collectively by the citizens and it is not bound to a particular group or people. Now we'll see some of the important common resources: land, water, pasture and forest. Now we'll see the important issues of the land resources. As we all know, land is the most important natural resources. It covers up to only 29% of the earth's surface and all parts of the land are not habitable. Land resources refers to the land identified with a specific type of property rights. The common land covered in National Sample Survey, that is NSS inquiry, is Panchayat lands, government revenue lands, village common land, etc. Important issues of the pasture and forest resources. In Nepal, like developing countries, forest and pasture are decreasing and deteriorating, resulting in many intended and unanticipated environmental problems. Unclassed forest, according to the classification of the legal status, this category include all other forests. Some forests are privately owned. All village forest included in this category. And now the common property right is equals to total forest area minus the reserve forest. Important issues of water resources. As we all know, water is a transparent fluid which forms of the world's streams, lakes, oceans and rain and is the major constituent of the fluid or living cells. It is used for domestic purposes, bathing, drinking and washing, etc. It is also used for irrigation and feeding. Irrigation channels are maintained jointly by the government and the communities. Example, tanks of natural lakes, groundwater, wetland and mangrove areas. So, இப்போ நம்ம பிரீஃபாக இன்எஃபிஷியன்ட் வெல்ஃபேர் லாஸ் அண்ட் சம் ஆஃப் தி காமன் ரிசோர்ஸஸ் வந்துட்டு நம்ம பார்த்துட்டோம். இப்போ நம்ம MCQs பார்க்கலாம். தி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின் இஸ்: the solutions can be effective only if the parties involved are relatively dash in cost and discount rates. The answer is homogeneous. அதாவது ஒரு பார்ட்டி வந்துட்டு homogeneous in cost and discount ரேட்டாக இருக்கணும். Second one, dash rules can be put into place to manage the resource or to provide group goods. The answer is cooperative internal. The third one, dash factors make common properties less effective. The answer is exogenous. Fourth question, uniformity reduces dash demands, information demands. Fifth one, uniform regulations do not reflect differences in dash production. Sixth one, under regulation and tax policies, users are not owners. Common property resource management involves dash and dash. The answers are cost and benefits. Eighth one, dash is another factor of great importance for resource management. The answer is seasonality. Ninth one, the system of dash protected natural resources from fragmentation resulting in degradation. The answer is property rights. Tenth one, unclassified forests with very dash productivity are always open for local communities. The answer is low. So we'll now see two more questions. The first one, what are the lands covered in NSS, that is National Sample Survey? The common lands covered in NSS inquiry are Panchayat lands, government revenue lands, village common lands, village thrashing lands, unclassified forest lands, woodlands and wastelands, river banks and lands belonging to other household used as commons. The second question is, write a short note on the forest and pasture resources. Common property resources, particularly forest and pastures, are rapidly decreasing and deteriorating in developing countries like Nepal, resulting in many unintended and unanticipated environmental problems. Unclassified forests with very low productivity are always open to use by local communities. Accordingly, both protected and unclassified forests are treated as forming a part of common property resources. It is therefore the subset of the total forest area minus the reserve forest to which the common property rights are assumed to exist. Third question is, water has not been declared as CPR in India. Explain. Water has not yet been declared as CPR in India, though the references are made in the water policy document indirectly. By and large, water resources in India are in common property regimes only. Irrigation channels are maintained jointly by the government and communities. Traditionally, tanks, village ponds, and lakes, all of which are treated as CPRs, are sources of water for drinking, livestock rearing, washing, fishing, and bathing, and several sanitary related activities. Fourth question is, what is common property resource management? Common property resource management involves cost and benefit. The cost benefit affect the resource management. They vary according to the temporal, spatial, tangibility and distribution dimensions. The local institutions will be most effective in management if the benefits of resource management occur quickly, locally, visibly and individually or collectively. The last question is, mention some solution for inefficiency and welfare loss. Group solutions or common property can be effective if the parties involved are relatively homogeneous in cost, discount rates and production objectives, and if their numbers are comparatively small. And the second option is the government regulation. Involves constraints on inputs or outputs to bring production in line with more optimal levels and tax schemes to bring private and social use costs into closer alignment. ஸோ இப்போ நாம் ப்ரீஃபாக இன்எஃபிஷியன்சி அண்ட் வெல்ஃபேர் லாஸ் பார்த்தோம். அதில் சில எம்சிக்யூஸ் பார்த்தோம், சில 2 marks பார்த்தோம். ஐ ஹோப் யூ ஆல் அண்டர்ஸ்டுட் தி கான்செப்ட் அண்ட் தேங்க்யூ ஆல் ஃபார் யுவர் கைண்ட் பேஷன்ஸ். தேங்க்யூ.